At this year's North Country Festival of Trees, people who have died from cancer or are going through treatment were honored. The Compassionate Care Foundation left out this message bin in front of the tree they sponsored and eventually had to add a second one due to the amount of names and prayers that were written down. Foundation's officials say they were blown away by the amount of people that took the time to participate and hope it helps people find some comfort in remembering those we lost and those still going through cancer treatments.
This event is not only a great community event, but it's a wonderful way for us to remind that we're trying to bring these wonderful modalities to our cancer patients and our local friends and families to bring them peace through the holidays as well.
The foundation is also starting a Sponsor a Patient campaign where local people can donate money to help support integrative therapy sessions for those battling cancer. Anyone interested in learning more can head to our website for more information.